I haven't had time to talk about the art of theatre this evening, but theatre is one of the places, like the other arts and philosophy, that our species goes to in order to try to discover beauty, to try to understand itself, to try to discover itself, to listen to beauty and to try, as Roger wrote, to F the ineffable. In 1973, Laurence Olivier appeared on the Dick Cavett Show to discuss, among other things, the opening of this country's National Theatre. He also recited a Shakespeare sonnet. And if anyone thinks that television chat shows haven't dumbed down in recent years, watch that interview. But the part of the interview that I find most moving is this part, in which Olivier says, uninterrupted and with such easy eloquence, he's asked about the importance of theatre, and Olivier says, I think theatre is terribly important. I think that it is the initial glamorizer of thought. I think that through the art of the theatre can be told without too much disguise, but without too much directness either, the secrets and thereby its antipathies and sympathies, the secrets and the knowledge of the human heart. And I think that makes the art of theatre as important as the doctor or the psychologist or the minister even. I think it's vitally important that the world knows itself. And I think the theatre is one of the most immediate means of expression towards that end. I'd like to say two things in closing. The first is that I learned a lesson during the period in which I defended Sir Roger, and it's a lesson I should like to pass on, especially to the younger people present here tonight. Please always stand up for your friends, especially when they're right. There is every reason in the world to do so. But one is not obvious, although perhaps it should be. And it's this. It might be the only chance you get to show them how much they mean to you. If you don't seize this opportunity whenever it comes along, you'll have to save the truth of your feelings for their funeral or obituaries. It's not much use to anyone then. But if you defend a friend while they're alive, you might just give them the slightest intimation of how much you value them and love them, and how much other people love them too. But I want also to say one final thing. In an era of cancellation and defenestration, we sometimes forget that we cannot go on like this, and also that we've been here before. We know this because our greatest writers and artists have addressed this question in their own times. When Roger was going through his own battle with the Shallows, I often thought of Shakespeare's rarely performed but great play, Timon of Athens. Timon has the whole world before him. He's surrounded by friends and admirers. He's been generous to all, yet he falls on hard times in the city. And when he does, absolutely everyone deserts him. He's left with nothing and nobody, and risks being filled with despair and rage. It doesn't help that he's shadowed by the cynical philosopher Epaminondas, who has warned him that just such a desertion might one day occur. I adore this scene, and should like in closing to read it, but I'm not a professional actor, so I'd like to invite someone to the stage who is. The former Cameron Mackintosh Professor of Contemporary Theatre here at Oxford, one of the great actors of his generation, somebody I'm very proud to call a friend, Kevin Spacey.